Hello everyone, how are you all? Hope you all are fine and healthy. Welcome everyone. Today I am going to start chapter 3 Taro's Reward of Honeysuckle Book. Now, this is a story about a thoughtful and loving son. He works hard to fulfill his parents' wish and get some unexpected help. So, I'm going to read paragraph 1. A young woodcutter named Taro lived with his mother and father on a lonely hillside. All day long he chopped wood in the forest. Though he worked very hard, he earned very little money. This made him sad, for he was a thoughtful son and wanted to give his old parents everything they needed. Now, the meaning of this paragraph is Taro's Reward is a popular fairy tale in Japan. So it's a story of a young woodcutter whose name is Taro, lived with his parents closer to hill. He earned money by chopping woods from the jungle, but the money he earned was not sufficient for him and his parents, which made him sad because he wanted to give everything needed to his parents. Second paragraph. One evening, when Taro and his parents were sitting in a corner of their hut, a strong wind began to blow. It whistled through the cracks of the hut, and everyone felt very cold. Suddenly, Taro's father said, I wish I had a cup of sake. It would warm me and do my old hurt good. Now, what does it mean? One evening, it started blowing cold winds. All people in the home felt cold due to wind passing from the cracks of the wooden house. His father wished if he could have some sake to energize his heart. Sake is actually a popular and costly drink of Japan. So, third paragraph. This made Taro sadder than ever, for the heart-warming drink called sake was very expensive. How do I earn more money? He asked himself. How do I get a little sake for my poor old father? He decided to work harder than before. Now, what it means? His father's wish made Taro sad, as he did not have money to buy the expensive sake, a popular Japanese drink. He was so upset and asked several questions to himself. How do I earn more money? How do I get small amount of sake for my poor old father? So he decided to work harder to fulfill his father's wish. Next paragraph. Next morning, Taro jumped out of bed earlier than usual and made his way to the forest. He chopped and cut as the sun climbed, and soon he was so warm that he had to take off his jacket. His mouth was dry and his face was wet with sweat. My poor old father, he thought, if only he was as warm as I. And with that, he began to chop even faster, thinking of the extra money he must earn to buy the sake to warm the old man's bones. Now, what does this mean? Next morning, he woke up early. He means Taro woke up early and went to the forest for chopping and cutting woods. Now it was the noon time, the sun was overhead, and Taro felt so warm that he had to remove his jacket. He was thirsty and sweating on his face. He was thinking about his father and started again to chop more faster so that he must earn extra money to purchase the sake to keep the old man's bones warm. Paragraph 5. Then suddenly Taro stopped chopping. What was the sound he heard? Could it be? Could it possibly be running water? Taro could not remember ever seeing or hearing a rushing stream in that part of the forest. He was thirsty, the axe dropped out of his hands, and he ran in the direction of the sound. Now what happened? Suddenly, Taro heard the sound of falling water. He stopped his work. It perplexed him as there was no river here earlier. Since he was thirsty, the axe dropped from his hands and he followed the sound of water. Sixth paragraph. Taro saw a beautiful little waterfall hidden behind a rock. Kneeling at a place where the water flowed quietly, he cupped a little his hands and put it to his lips. Was it water or was it sake? He tasted it again and always it was the delicious sake instead of cold water. Now soon he found a waterfall behind the rock. He went near to the fall and puts his hand in the water and tasted. He found that it was not cold water but a sake. Sake is a popular Japanese drink which his father wants to drink to energize his heart. Seventh paragraph. Taro quickly filled the pitcher he had with him and hurried home. The old man was delighted with the sake. After only one swallow of the liquid, he stopped shivering and did a little dance in the middle of the floor. Now, what happened? Taro became happy and filled some sake in his pitcher. Upon reaching the house, he gave this sake to the father. The father sipped the sake and started dancing with joy in the middle of the floor. Paragraph 8. That afternoon, a neighbor stopped by for a visit. Taro's father politely offered her a cup of the sake. The lady drank it greedily and thanked the old man. Then Taro told her the story of the magic waterfall. Thanking them for a delicious drink, she left in a hurry. By nightfall, she had spread the story throughout the whole village. Now, what does it mean? A neighbor came in the afternoon. Taro's father offered her a cup of sake. The woman happily took the sake. Then Taro told her about the whole incident of magic waterfall. She thanked him for the drink and left Taro's house. After leaving the house, that woman spread the news to all the people in the village. Now, next paragraph, paragraph 9. That evening, there was a long procession of visitors to the woodcutter's house. Each man heard the story of the waterfall and took a sip of the sake. In less than an hour, the pitcher was empty. Now, that evening, so many villagers rushed to Taro's home and tasted the sake. The pitcher was empty in less than an hour. 10th paragraph. Next morning, Taro started for work even earlier than the morning before. He carried with him the largest pitcher he owned, for he intended first of all to go to the waterfall. When he reached it, he found to his great surprise all his neighbors there. They were carrying pitchers, jars, buckets, anything they could find to hold the magic sake. Then one villager knelt and held his mouth under the waterfall to drink. He drank again and then shouted angrily, "Water! Nothing but water!" Others also tried, but there was no sake, only cold water. Now, this is a very interesting paragraph. Next morning, Taro again woke up early. He woke up early, searched the biggest pitcher, and went to the waterfall. When he reached, he was surprised to saw the other villagers. There, they carrying pitchers, jars, buckets with them to hold the magic sake. Then one villager tasted the sake and shouted with anger that it's just a cold water, not any sake. Other people also tried and found only cold water, no sake. Paragraph 11. We have been tricked, shouted the villagers. Where is Taro? Let us drown him in the waterfall. But Taro had been wise enough to slip behind a rock. When he saw how things were going, he was nowhere to be found. Now, what happened? People became angry and decided to throw Taro in the fall. To saw this, Taro hid himself behind the rock, and he was not found anywhere. 12th paragraph. Muttering their anger and disappointment, the villagers left the place one by one. Taro came out from his hiding place. Was it true? He wondered. Was the sake a dream? Once more he caught a little liquid in his hand and put it to his lips. It was the same fine sake to the thoughtful some. The magic waterfall gave the delicious sake. To everyone else, it gave only cold water. Now, the meaning is the villagers were angry and disappointed, and one by one they left the place. Taro waited till all the villagers went to their home. Now he came out and tasted the water again. But he was surprised that it was not a simple cold water, it was a sake. The magical waterfall was giving sake to Taro, while to other villagers it was only giving cold water. The last paragraph of the chapter, the story of Taro and his magic waterfall reached the Emperor of Japan. He sent for the young woodcutter and rewarded him with 20 pieces of gold for having been so kind and good. Then he named the most beautiful fountain in the city after Taro. This said that the emperor was to encourage other children to honor and obey their parents. Now, what happened? The story of Taro's care for his parents reached to the king. He awarded Taro with 20 pieces of gold for being so kind and good. He gave Taro's name to the most beautiful fountain in the city. This depicts that emperor wants to encourage other children to take care of their parents and give them an honor. Now, the moral of the story is we should take care of our parents and elders. God helps only who takes good care of their parents. Now, thank you everyone.